So I am sending this to you today because I know a lot of people are using the weekend to get their Haiku sites up and running. Some of you may be thinking about using the Haiku Gradebook for the first time. And for those who used it last year, you may just need a reminder about how to set up a gradebook and maybe see some features that you didn't use last year. I'm not trying to make a case right now to use the Haiku Gradebook, although I could. And I think there's a lot of very good features that are integrated with setting up assignments and grades and so forth, and displaying information to students that make this a very good thing to do. But if that's something you'd like, please talk to me. And you can also talk to the many people who used Haiku Gradebook last year. To set up your Haiku Gradebook, you go under Assess and Grades. And the first thing you should note is that there is no gradebook when you arrive. That is not set up by default. You have to do it yourself. So hit Add Gradebook. I'm going to name this something creative like Biology Honors, the name of the class. And I'm going to use gradebook categories because I like seeing what's the difference between quizzes and tests and entry quizzes and so forth. And it will allow me to see those different categories. There's lots of other specifications you can put in here in terms of how things appear in the gradebook. In terms of grade notation and special score set, I have set up things by default. So if you put an A- in, it comes in as a 92, for instance. Or if you put in absent, it doesn't remove credit. But if you put in unexcused, then it does. And so you can take a look at these defaults and see what the different options are. So absence, unexcused, excused, missed, and so forth. I do like to use categories. Sometimes you use category weights, which means that different categories will be weighed differently in your overall grade. In this case, I'm not going to start that way. So entry quizzes, let's have tests, presentations, and miscellaneous to start. You can always come back and change this later. Now once that's set up, your different kids are automatically entered, and if you've got sections, so for instance this is Biology Honors, which Sarah and I are teaching together, so all the different sections will be in these different spots, so you can move between them pretty quickly. I found that maximize actually is a very important thing to do with Gradebook because it allows you to see more. Over here on the left corner you can see no class schedule and hit edit there. The reason you'd have a class schedule is so that grades from the fall, grades from the winter, grades from the spring would be separated. I've put in a class schedule for you to use that has a fall, winter, and spring based on the dates in the calendar. So when you make an assessment of any kind and you put a date on it, based on that date it will automatically fall into one of those 3 trimesters. You can change that. So let's say you have something November 20th that you want to include on the winter trimester, even though it falls in the fall trimester in terms of the date range. You can manually change that and have it count towards the winter. So by hitting edit here, it allows me to choose a schedule. And the schedule you should choose is called 2014-15 academic year. Hopefully that's clear. There are the dates on which that falls. And once I hit save, that schedule is put into place. This is fine, this little warning, just hit close, and hopefully you should see that schedule is put in place here. So you now have the ability to see this, and again you can actually see summaries for the term, which is really the entire year with the different grading periods of what happens over the year. They're going to be counted equally just as they would be, and then calculated as a year grade. So you can see that in this spot. One of the nice features here is that you can always choose to publish or not publish different grades or subtotals for students. Just like with Pages, it's clicking on the little icon that looks like a radio icon. That's, I think, enough for now in terms of setup. Please see me or email me if you have any questions about this or other Haiku setup questions. Thanks.